So, dear students, let us resume our lecture on critical appreciation, or the discussion on critical appreciation. So, I have mentioned that as the title of this particular thing is critical appreciation, that means you have to consider yourself as a critic first. Okay, so just think what a critic actually does. So, whenever a critic finds a particular poem or he writes a kind of a critical writing or maybe a critical analysis of a particular poem, he tries to identify something that is not being written or that is not being stated before, right? That means you have to write something extra. Okay, so it might be possible that it is not possible for you to know everything about the poem. That means what are the other critical writings that are on this particular topic or on this particular poem. So it is not possible for you. So ultimately, you have to identify that what are the basic resurgences that the poem actually expresses, or rather, you have your own text and appreciate it from the perspective of a critic. Okay, so on the basis of its language, on the basis of its content, on the basis of the theoretical appreciations that have been taken into consideration here, so everything are very important, you see. So it is not simply the substance writing, rather you have to focus mainly on the divergent aspects of the poem. So that is why the first point that have been mentioned here, that consider yourself as a critic and appreciate the poem from the perspective of a critic. So you will find that whenever we think of this critical appreciation, the fundamental focus is being wasted on the new critical approach of interpreting texts. So ultimately, the question certainly arises that what do we mean by the new critical approach? What is new criticism? You see that you will find this particular term in Wikipedia. You will find this particular term in you see that M.H. Abrams, the Glossary of Literary Terms, or maybe in any other literary terms book. So ultimately, you will find that the new criticism, it is actually being focusing, or it is actually focusing at a kind of new form of criticism that was completely different from the prevalent bioliterary criticism, obviously. So, as I have mentioned here that the pioneering work in this particular field is practical criticism by I.A. Richards. You will probably heard the name of I.A. Richards. The Principles of Literary Criticism and Practical Criticism. These are the famous two books that are written by I.A. Richards. And you will find it is another book that is John Crowe Ransom's The New Criticism, from where this particular name has been coming. So ultimately, what I'm trying to suggest here that whenever you will go through the theory of new criticism, you will find that somehow the primary focus of these artists, the primary focus of these theorists, is to interpret a particular text from the perspective of the text. That means it is the close reading that is the most important part. Suppose you have a particular poem and there is a particular name that have been mentioned in the name of the author as it was written by William Wordsworth. So what happens to us whenever we read that particular poem? We find that a kind of a prevalent ideology or preconceived notion that comes within us, that it was written by Wordsworth, so it must fall into the group of the romantics. So ultimately, the features of romanticism must have to be present in this particular poem, rather. And whenever we will find any author, we try to find the biography of the author. What are the basic crises that the particular person had felt? Right? So ultimately, whenever we get into the name of the author or maybe the title of the particular poem, before reading the poem, we gather some informations, we gather some ideologies, we gather some theories in our mind, and ultimately from that very perspective we try to interpret the poem. Now whenever you will find the new critical method of interpreting a particular text, it actually focuses on the explication, that is the close reading. As I mentioned here, it is the explication, the text. That means the close reading of the texts. So what does it interpret? What does it say? That ultimately you will find that each and every word are important, you see, right? So what it says, suppose you have an example of a poem. You have a poem in front of you, and you didn't know, or you do not know anything about the poet, anything about the title. So how can you grab the meaning of the text? It is from the text, only from the text, that you can do. So new criticism says that everything is written within the text, you see, and you have to go with the text. You will find the interplay of words, interplay of phrases, interplay of, you see, the lines, obviously, and there are 1,000 lines in between two lines. So you have to identify the chasms, you have to identify the clashes, you have to identify the conflict that is going on, what is the subject matter of the poem, and in which way the poem actually describes everything that had been written there. So, whenever you will find that it is a kind of a critical appreciation of a poem, you need to know about the processes of interpreting a text, right? That will be discussed in our future lectures. So, ultimately, what are the processes? What are the aspects that I have to focus on? So, that is the fundamental thing. Uh, the writer and the external influences are not needed while interpreting, not even the title of the poem that I have already said. Try to go between the lines. Remember, while doing critical appreciation, each of your argument has to be supported and justified with reference from the text. Okay, that is the proper justification is needed. That is very important part. You see that what happens, that whenever you try to interpret any particular text, we find that from the answers by the students, that the students write something, okay, this particular poem is stating that, but why you are thinking so? Okay, that means you have to identify the proper justification, that what are the words, what are the phrases, what are the interplay of words, what are the imagery, what are the symbols that actually led you to think that the poem is actually interpreting that, or the poem is actually ascribing that, right? So ultimately, you will find that the proper justification is very important in this particular scenario, in this particular case. That means whenever you are writing a particular argument, whenever you are giving a particular argument, you need to justify that from which particular perspective, from which particular angle, from which phraseology, from which images you gather the information that you are actually writing, right? So that is very important, the proper justification of this particular form. Okay, you can add some new or extra, obviously, okay, which might not be mentioned by any previous critic. That I have already mentioned, that you are writing in critical appreciation, it is not simply for your examination purpose, but in the future days you will find that you have been introduced with a particular poem, and you have never read in this particular poem, and you will try to search, the browse the pages of Google Scholar, you are trying to find the pages of Gestor, and ultimately you are trying to identify that what are the basic resurgences that the critics are following, what are the basic focuses that the critics are making regarding the interpretation of this particular text. But you find that while I am reading the text, I feel something extra. That means probably this is not being written by any other critic, right? So fundamentally, whenever you are appreciating a particular poem, it might be possible that you are adding something extra, because that is the research, you see, that is the work that you are doing. You will find the research works are always focusing at something new. Okay, that is, from the searches you are finding the researches, you see, research as it says. So you can add something extra, something new, which might not be mentioned by any previous critic. But remember, you are a critic now, and you can add the extra dimension to it. Only one thing that should be there, one thing that you have to keep it in mind. You need justification. Without justification, it will not do, right? So you have to justify the references from the text, the references from the phraseologies, the references from each and every perspectives. You see that how the text is actually led you to interpret this particular text from this particular angle. Justification, and justification that is actually needed. Okay, you cannot imagine anything and write in your answer paper. Okay, that will not do. uh, Now I have to say that there are two major areas that the critical appreciation includes. Ultimately, I must say, it is first, it is the content or theme oriented interpretation. Okay, and number two, it is the structure oriented interpretation. But and now we are actually coming towards the actual important sections. That means what I have to do while interpreting a particular text from the thematic orientation. or what I have to do when I have to interpret this particular text from the structure oriented interpretation. So here you will find there are ample points, a number of points to be discussed. And when you will go through the points, ultimately you needn't have to worry that my answer is so short that I cannot write any critical appreciation of a poem in proper way. But for this, you have to wait, and you have to wait for the next lectures. Okay, so to wrap to this, thank you then.